Thank you for being on. We're going to try to do this once a quarter. And the way it's going to work is we're just going to give you an update on what's going on in the Dream Center, any events coming up. It's going to be super short, maybe 15, 20 minutes in the future. We'll take a little bit more time tonight. If we have new people coming on, I'm going to let them watch this video so that they can kind of meet everybody that's working with us. But, you know, that way they have names with faces when they come to the Dream Center. But the main thing is we just want to keep you abreast of everything going on at the Dream Center, any important news, because I know sometimes rumors get around, stuff like that. But I'll just kind of give you an update on what's happening in-house right now, because this is what happens every single year. So if everybody will mute except for our speakers, so Caitlin, Carlos, Irene, and Shauna, that would be great. So we get a good clean recording because a lot of people are going to be watching this. So the big thing that happens in the summer is what happens to the weather in the summer? Well, I just told you to mute, but you're all saying it gets hot. Okay. The Dream Center, the way it's built almost like an amphitheater. So it holds in the heat, which is great in the winter, not so great in the summer. So the first thing I want to tell you is when you go to the Dream Center, please get yourself a little lunchbox cooler or something. Always have water on you. We try to have water there. I don't know that it'll always be cold, but you know, just in case if you have a flat tire or anything happens, you guys, you've got to have water on you at all times. My husband and I went to an event just the other day. I had my cup of cold water and he's laughing at me and I'm like, laugh all you want. Because you know, women, we're pretty smart. So make sure you're well hydrated and you always have a little snack. There you go, Patricia. Thank you for that visual demonstration. The next thing is, because the heat is so strong, what happens to people in Arizona? They become angry. I experienced this my first year. We moved here in the spring 8 years ago. And in the summer, I said, why did everyone grow horns and why are they all carrying pitchforks? And they just kind of get angry and the heat just kind of gets to you after a while, you know? So take that into consideration when you're working with your mentees or you're working with your students, you know, show a little bit of grace. For the teachers on, y'all keep asking me, can we bring treats? Can we bring in ice cream? Can we? Yes, just make sure you always bring in a trash bag. I know there's a trash container, but I believe if you bring it in, you should carry it out. It's kind of like being in the forest, although I don't camp. Okay, so yes, you can do fun things like that in the summer. If you want to do extra activities, you want to come on a Saturday, even if you're not teaching this summer, but you're going to be in the area, you say, you know what, I'll come in, maybe I'll do a cooking lesson with the girls or something like that. Yes, just call me, text me, we'll put it on the calendar, we'll make sure everybody's there. Crafts, things like that, even mentors. If y'all want to get together and come do something for all the residents, they love it because summers can be really, really hard on our residents, really hard. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to go with our itinerary tonight. Brian Steele is the executive director of the Phoenix Dream Center. And so he was going to try to jump on. He might jump on and say hi in a minute, but he and his wife, Sky, they are amazing. If you can ever meet them or chat with them, if you can catch them, they're always on the go. That's great. But you know, I want to start just by introducing myself. I started at the Dream Center 7 years ago as a volunteer and just started out basically doing anything they wanted me to do. Did not want to be in charge of anything, actually said, I don't want to be in charge of anything. And within 3 months, I was a volunteer coordinator. Within 4 months, I was teaching a class. Within a year, I was in charge of several different things. I don't know how that happened, but I guess God's plan is, you know, they say if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. So that's basically a little bit about me. I am married. I live in Cave Creek. For those of you who drive a long way to the Dream Center, got you there. Don't even talk to me about it. Twice I've had flats, a blowout on 17, and I drive a nice car. So I can imagine what that feels like when you're trying to move a car across 5 lanes, because you know I was going the speed limit. Brent, I promise you I was going the speed limit because the speed limit on 17 is 92. All right, so what I really want to tell you guys as far as my perspective about what you guys do and how I can support you. If you're a teacher, basically the way I support you is I let you know changes that might happen in the schedule. when things are happening at the Dream Center that we might possibly have to cancel classes. If it's a last minute thing, I'll always text you. Same thing with mentor teams if you're meeting there. Very rarely have we had a shutdown or a lockdown in the past 3 years. But if it ever happens, it happened during COVID, I will let you know via text. So, just kind of be aware that if that happens, I apologize, but it's out of my control. It's out of everyone's control. When you want to know more about a resident, we are going to open things up a little bit more for you to get to know the residents more. Just keep in mind that if it's a confidential issue with the resident, even if you're their mentor or you're getting close with them in a classroom as a teacher, they may not want to share that information with you. And so it is leadership's priority to say, or prerogative to say, gosh, Ed, we would love to share that information with you, but unless Susie wants to share that with you herself, that's really not something we can share. And we just want you to respect that. We want to make sure that you never take pictures of the residents. We don't post anything on social media, and you also don't discuss the resident's name with anyone outside of the Dream Center, and that's for their safety, and that's super, super important. You don't even use their first name. I don't even say, like Sean or something. I'll say, well, let's just call her Susie Q. But really, their story is not yours to repeat. It's not yours to tell. And, I did, especially in the beginning, I shared things with my husband, but I never mentioned names. And I really didn't tell anybody's story. I just said, I just feel so bad because I brought a lot of it home with me. But I've learned to kind of drop it at the front door and try to shake it off. It's hard to do. But how many of y'all have seen the movie yet? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm excited. We're seeing it this weekend. So we're going to start by introducing the man of the hour, one of my favorite people in the entire world. God has blessed me with Carlos Daniel's friendship, and he allows me to mentor him and mother him, and my husband mentors him. And in turn, he teaches us so much about kindness and love and giving. And Carlos started out as a volunteer at the Dream Center, finished college, and he has a very important title at the Dream Center, but more importantly, he's one of the real hearts of the entire Dream Center because he always puts the residents first. And one time I said, Carlos, someday you're going to be the billionaire that we're talking to saying, can you write a check? Can you support us? Can you financially contribute? And he said, actually, Joanna, I hope I'm always the one asking because God has humbled him so much. So Carlos, tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, everybody. I'm Carlos Daniel. First off, I just want to say thank you for joining and being a part of the family and being a part of our residents family. It's super humbling to see everybody in Zoom. Even I see a lot of familiar faces. I see Trey Long there and a lot of partners that I've seen before. But so really I think it was about maybe a month ago, we were talking with one of the partners in the fight against trafficking. And they let me know that, hey, there was this law that was trying to be passed in Arizona. It was going to, punish traffickers on a deeper level. It made it through the House. It made it through but then there was one of the, goodness, I forget who it exactly was, but it basically was about to get passed into law and for whatever reason was rejected. And the partner who told me that, I was so frustrated. I was like, man, why don't more of us know about those types of things in the community? Because if the community knew that there's a way for us to target traffickers on a deeper level and support survivors, everybody would come around that. But then there's also the wins. And there's Shauna, she'll share more about some of the developments happening. She just recently went to the Attorney General's conference for the United States, and they were talking about trafficking, recovery, and innovative things to do. And so I really just wanted to have a time for all of us just to, see what we're doing in the fight and how we can all come together on it.
Okay, so with your permission, moving forward, when there is a law that we know is about to come into, the Senate or Congress, with your permission, we're going to send you an email saying, contact your representative immediately, send them an email, call their offices and tell them how you feel about this. And I think everybody would be on board with that. So we would do that through the mentor team leaders and through the Hope Education program. So when that happens, we don't want you to come back to us and say, what do we do? Just contact your representative. We'll give you the information, the Maricopa information for your reps and everything. So everybody's a thumbs up on that. Yes. Okay, Carlos, can you talk just real quickly about Stephanie Lang, because she can't be on tonight.
Oh, so Stephanie Lang, she's our she does quite a few things. But she'll manage the volunteers. So any volunteer opportunities that are on campus beyond what Joanna coordinates, she'll do the background checks, she'll plug them in into different areas. She helps with our events and donation and kind donations, and she does tours, private tours, just the whole gambit there.
Okay, she's great.
Yeah.
If you've met her, you'll love her. She's an amazing part of the development team as well. And she has a Tuesday night biblical commitment. So we didn't want to say, no, we come before God. So, okay, thank you, Carlos. Okay, up next is Miss Shauna Sexton, who is actually out at Short Creek. That's her little guy right there. Anthony. So she's on vacation. She's interrupting her vacation to join us tonight. Hi, Shauna.
Yes. So, hi, everybody. So sorry for my appearance. I have found that vacation with an infant is much easier done without makeup done and hair done. So, and you know, I have a lot of family here in Short Creek, so I'm running around with me and my grandpa. We sat the other night and just realized that he has over 200 grandchildren and counting, and so there's lots of littles running around. It's been a blast. But like you heard, my name is Shauna Sexton. I am the director of our human trafficking programs. I came to the Dream Center 5 years ago myself, escaping a life that I was so desperately trying to end, just running from my trafficker. When I got to the Dream Center, it was for me a safe place where I was able to just throw my hands up and completely surrender to God. Like we get to see so many times now with different residents that walk in. And God just really accelerated my healing journey and just took me on such a wild ride that I still every day I'm like, okay, God, where are we at? Where are we going now? It's been really incredible. And now he's allowed me to be in a place where I can watch others walk that out as well. And it's just absolutely amazing. At the Dream Center, we always try to empower our residents to really show who they are and show what the healing journey kind of looks like. Sometimes it can be very ugly, it can be very hard, and it's not an easy process. Most people think that when you get to the Dream Center, that's it. You're rescued, you're good, you know, kind of. I think in some people's minds, it's like a get over it, move on kind of thing. But I think when you get to the Dream Center, that's when the real work starts. So now you're in safety, but now you're looking back to all the trauma that you have been through. And this is where it's so hard. You're battling with your flesh to go back. You're battling with the trauma bonds and just all the different things. And so one of those ways that we help them process through all of that is art. I know that there's some teachers on here that do art class, and I know it's super beneficial for them. And so art becomes a huge expression for them. And we have tons of great artists on our campus right now. So we have about every 6 months, we do a Hope for Art walk, or just an event. It's not necessarily a walk, it's just there on our campus. But it's where all of the survivor art is displayed. We do a auction for some of the bigger pieces, and then have some of their smaller pieces just there available to buy. They also make jewelry and other things that we sell there as well. And all of those funds end up going straight back into the programs for things they may need. Our next art walk is coming up. It is on November 4th. So please mark your calendars for that. It's an amazing event led by our survivors. They get up, they share testimonies, some of them sing songs. They get so creative and so different and amazing. So even if you've been to one before, every single one's different. So please come again.
And as a mentor or a teacher, you get 2 complimentary tickets. you just email me, and we always send out an email saying, hey, if you want tickets, let us know. But you just email me and you'll get 2 complimentary tickets. And it's always in the morning, so it doesn't interrupt your, entire weekend, but it's pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Okay.
And I want to encourage, sorry, Joanna, real quick. I just want to encourage every mentor and teacher on here that I know that it can feel hard sometimes to come and walk along a survivor. And we don't always get the appreciation that we feel like we should get, right? And sometimes we don't really realize how much we're actually affecting somebody's life. And I know that through my healing journey, there were so many teachers and mentors that came alongside me that I never got to tell them thank you or how much they really impacted me. And so I just want you to know that those impacts are making a huge difference in every single one of our residents.
Yeah, you don't always see it. Thank you, Shauna. And I've been around long enough, guys, where now I've got people who come back who are out of the program, they're working, they're restored with their family, and they'll say, I remember one time in class, you said this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening. Yay. Okay, Caitlin, where are you? Oh, look at you down in my left corner. If you were on Hollywood Squares, you'd be way at the bottom. So Caitlin, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin. I'm our women's program manager. I have a similar Dream Center upbringing to Joanna. I think that I started volunteering and kind of was like, oh, I think I'm going to take everyone on a hike one day. And all of a sudden I'm the women's program manager. It kind of happens at the Dream Center. Yeah, but I'm thankful for all of you guys. I think I know most of you all. My role, I think that I've found with teachers and mentors is that I'm the person that you can call or text if you need maybe some clarity on a situation with a resident or information on how to go about certain situations, or if you're in a crisis mode in class or a crisis mode in your mentor meeting, whatever that looks like. I'm there to answer texts or calls for residents specifically. Yeah.
Okay. And Irene, you were supposed to be before Caitlin, and because I was kind of going alphabetical here, but I did not mean to skip you. But so Caitlin and Irene, they're kind of partners in crime. Caitlin's in charge of the women's program. Irene, she'll speak in just a second, is in charge of the men's. So teachers, when I say when you're on campus, have that group text that has myself, Caitlin, and Irene, even so far as if a door is locked and you need to get into a room and the door's not usually locked, just get on that group text and say, hey, the door's locked. That's why you always want to be there a couple of minutes early. But, that group text is super important too. A couple of times we've had teachers that are driving a long way. They get caught in traffic. There's an accident or something. They're going to be 15 minutes late. Put us in that group text very safely using voice to text. Get us on your Bluetooth and let us know so that we don't have them leave the class. But that's really important. It's not just in crisis situations, it's also just informational. So it's a happy place. The Dream Center is a happy place. Okay, Irene.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys all know Caitlin and I are definitely here to support you whenever you're on campus for anything you need. So we love to be thrown into the mix, and we're here for you guys, and we appreciate you. And we always explain to our residents that you guys are volunteers and you're giving your time and how valuable that is to our program. So my name is Irene Orr, and like Joanna said, I am the Men's Human Trafficking Program Manager. I think so often when we hear men's human trafficking program, we don't think that it does happen to young men, but in fact it does. The trafficking program here at the Dream Center is one of 3 in the country. There's another human trafficking program in Texas and Florida. So there's only 3 in the United States that serve young men. My journey to the Dream Center, I'm a survivor, and I had a deep season of healing and restoration in my life. And I got a tug from God to go serve the girl I once was, and found out that there was in fact, a residential trafficking program here in our city. I came and took a tour and fell in love. I was raised up under Joanna's leadership as a veteran volunteer and served diligently and obediently almost every weekend of my life. Sometimes when I think about what Saturday is, it's not anything to me because I'm always volunteering on a Saturday. So, you know, I just started to fall in love with the Dream Center and serving survivors. And I just knew that my gifting was serving many survivors rather than doing individual advocacy, which was available back in the day when I came around. Mentor teams had not developed, but I love the model. It's amazing. And through that, I decided to leave my career of 6 years and come to the women's program in 2021. And I served alongside Caitlin under Shauna's leadership as a supervisor, and just thrown into the mix and just absolutely loving just the fourth floor and the girls. And one day Shauna came to me and said, "What would you think about working with the boys?" And I was like, huh. But it's actually exactly where God wants me. I don't think I've ever been happier in my whole entire life serving the young men. I certainly can't teach them how to be a man, but I can love them where they're at. And so I really love it. And then I also run the Fountain Outreach, which is the most amazing outreach in the whole entire city. We are impacting lives, winning people to Jesus. And we serve on the track here in our city on 27th Avenue every single Saturday. So if you are interested in coming out and really seeing what it looks like on the front lines, we're out there every single Saturday serving breakfast, clothes, hygiene, prayer, resources to detox centers, resources to come to the Dream Center or any other open door that's here in our city. We're out there just to love on people where they're at.
Good. All right. Thank you. Okay. Well, Alicia's kind of putting out a fire right now, so we're going to give her a couple more minutes, but if she can't get on, either Caitlin or Irene, if y'all could talk a little bit about Alicia in a minute, but I did want to give y'all some information. I send y'all a lot of emails about this, but I want to do a screen share real quick. And I want to show you, okay, this is it. I want to talk to you about the Arizona tax credit, because I actually get a lot of people asking me who are teachers and mentors, how can we give with the Arizona tax credit? So a lot of people think you can only do the Arizona tax credit in one way, but there's actually 4 different ways you can give in the Arizona tax credit. So the 2 that affect Streetlight USA and Phoenix Dream Center, if you just want to write this down, there are one for donations to qualifying charitable organizations, that's called QCO. And the second one that would affect us is donations to qualifying foster care charitable organizations, or QFCO. Okay. And the way it works is with the QCO, you can do $400 max for one person, $800 for a couple. And with the QFCO, it is, I think it's 500 for singles and 1,000 if you're filing joint. And you can do this in increments during the year, but here's the best part. We actually have a link on the, we have a link on our website, Phoenix Dream Center website. And I also have an individual link I can send you that if you're on a mentor team, you can actually click on that link and your charitable donation will be added to part of your mentees graduating fund, because when they graduate, they get a chunk of money that their mentor team helps them spend. They can't just go out and go shopping with it. It has to go towards housing, education, or transportation, or anything else that we feel the mentor team feels would be very helpful with them in their transition back into the real world. And so if you wanted to contribute directly to one resident in particular, I can actually show you how to do that. So that kind of makes you feel like you might have some skin in the game with your own person, or you can just give to the general funds. But either way, those tax credit gifts, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes a huge impact when you have 100, 200, 1,000 people doing it every year. I mean, it can literally pay our air conditioning bill for the summer. So, and you can imagine what that is. It's about $45,000. Is it that a month? Isn't that a month, Carlos? 45,000 a month?
Yeah, especially when you got to fix an AC, then it's
Oh, then it's astronomical. So, I know that y'all probably have a lot of questions about things that happen at the Dream Center, things like that, what our policies are. I can send you all of that. A lot of that is in our paperwork, and we don't want to start discussing all that because I really wanted to get y'all off in 30 minutes. But I just see that the beautiful and fabulous Alicia just got on. So we're going to let her introduce herself and say what she does at the Dream Center. And then I'm going to close us. So Alicia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia. I am the program manager over our pregnancy program, crisis program manager. That's a long title. Okay, I'm getting used to it. And so what I do what I do in my program is really just come alongside of the young women that are looking for that stability, that extra support while being pregnant. I actually went through the program a couple of years ago. So I feel like that one-on-one connection with these young women with being pregnant is so helpful, just to have that extra support for them. And a lot of them are first-time moms. So that it's really tough for them to just really trying to transition and being a mom, being in a program. And so I just, I'm excited to just really work with a lot of our young ladies there at the Dream Center. Today actually was able to do an intake with a young lady that is 19 years old. She's 4 months pregnant, and just been in and out of foster care a lot. Really first time mom, just really looking for that, like I said, extra support and that love and that genuine and that guidance. She's really looking for someone to just really help her and guide her. And I've realized that this season it's been really demanding. I literally went from having one mom in my program when I started. Now this would be 6. And so I think the demand is really high right now when it comes to young women that are literally been trafficked and really looking for that love, and just really they're really scared, and they're just really like I said, needing that healing. And I'm just excited to be able to be that person to have that extra love and support that I really needed while I was in the program. So it's really exciting.
And Alicia is someone else that I got to teach. So you teachers, yes. Let me tell you, when you see your students take over and start being in charge, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. So I just want to end tonight. Yeah, we got 20 seconds. I want to end tonight just by saying thank you for being on. If you're watching this recording, I'm sorry you missed it live, but we are going to try to do this quarterly. If you have any suggestions about anything you want us to discuss, that's great. Let me know. I am here for you. I realize I look like I'm spread very thin. You're correct in that, but I don't sleep a lot. So feel free. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you think of something and you want to text me, I turn my phone off at night. So feel free to text me at 2 a.m. That's fine with me. But I wanted to ask you to be in prayerful consideration of people you know who might want to be mentors, because we always need more mentors. We're putting together a mentor team right now for one of our guys who just hit 3rd pillar. I'm excited about that. And Irene just let me know about that today. So that's going to be very exciting. We've actually got 3 men who are going to be mentors for him. And it's going to be fabulous. And also, anyone who wants to teach a class, if we can't fit them in on the schedule, if the schedule's too tight, we can always have them do a workshop on a Saturday. And that's something else that you mentors, you might say, well, I can't teach a class, but hey, I could teach a workshop on a Saturday on something. Or you can come speak at Pizza and Possibilities, especially if you work for a small business or you own your own business or you do something that's a little bit unusual. It doesn't matter. We would love to have you come speak. So contact me about that because I'm in charge of that too. But I want to end tonight with, it's a really old verse, but I just thought it was really great because when we think about the Dream Center and we think about, you know, you go there and right now it's hot and people aren't always in a great mood. You know, I say the Dream Center itself, physically, it's an old dog, but it still has some wag in its tail. And it's an old building and bathrooms don't always work and elevators don't always work. But, you know, this is something that kind of reminds me of the Dream Center. It's Genesis 28:16-17. It's Jacob awakened out of his sleep and he said, surely the Lord is in this place. And I didn't know it. How awesome this place is. This is none other than God's house, and this is the gate of heaven. And, you know, if you think of the Dream Center as a gateway to heaven for these residents and these students, you're kind of the angels that are ushering them along that gateway and along that path. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes you think they don't even see me, but they do. They see you, they hear you a lot more than you think they do. Just like little children, you know, they say, be careful because they have big ears. And, you know, I do want you to consider that this is a gateway to heaven for all of these residents and the people who work there. This is our gateway to heaven, and cherish your time there. Cherish your responsibility, cherish your opportunity to serve, because there are so many people out there that do not serve. And you are, and you're building that crown. And, you know, we're all going to be celebrating in heaven someday. And we're going to go, remember when? And we got upset about that. Who cares? Because there'll be no pain, there'll be no sorrow, and there'll be no sin. So thank you all for being on. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, concerns, anything you want to discuss in the future, feel free. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Feel free to contact me directly. And y'all just have a super blessed evening. And again, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. We don't always say it. You might not always feel it, but you have no idea. We pray for you every single week. So I'm going to teach y'all all how to be Southern. So everybody unmute. And on 3, we're going to say bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
1, 2, 3.
Bye, y'all.
Another thing you can say is bless your heart.